Sogole amche CCR TV Polonyarank, my Mogaco Yokar. A warm welcome to each and every one of you to our program In Conversation With. Few names resonate in the world of Formula One like Michael Schumacher. With a record 7 World Drivers' Championship titles to his name, second only to Lewis Hamilton, Schumacher remains an icon in motorsport. He has remained a symbol of excellence, resilience, and determination. His life took a tragic turn on 29th December 2013 when he suffered a tragic skiing accident. There's no doubt that F1 is a worldwide phenomenon as such, and the last event takes place in Abu Dhabi in Dubai. Last year it was held from 6th to 8th of December 2024, and this year it is scheduled for 5th to 7th December 2025. The first race in Abu Dhabi was in 2009, and from then on it has been a grand success. It has been a true spectacular event, and it is the F1 season finale under lights. To make it what it is, you need so many departments taking place, and it's a big entertainment. There is one from Goa who is also part of this big event that takes place in Abu Dhabi. And being the last event of the calendar, ensuring that the season goes out with a pyrotechnic bang, to make it truly spectacular affair, we have a Goan, and I think Goans will be very, very proud that there is a Goan, and she is a proud lady for us, none other than Zinaida Mascarenhas, and she hails from Shikali. Welcome, Zinaida.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's a pleasure that you are involved in some way with this spectacular event. And what exactly is your role in this F1 event?
So we help curate the entertainment and program the entertainment for the fan zones. Also the hospitality suites, the paddock suites, and just make sure that it's a memorable guest journey from the time people enter the venue until they leave. So we plan everything from the roaming entertainment to the music acts, the stage acts, the grandstand entertainment, some pop-up entertainment. So everything to do with live entertainment is what our client brings us on board.
So you are the whole person in charge of the entertainment?
Yes, in the circuit.
The race itself is a big entertainment.
Yes, it is.
Could you elaborate exactly what do you do?
So there are many stages across different fan zones, and our job is to keep people entertained with whether it's music, whether it's experiences. So our job is to keep people entertained with shows, dancers or acrobats or music entertainment or drummers or whatever it is. Give them a customized experience. We have lots of customized experiences as well there. So it's basically hyping up the crowd and getting them excited for the races.
Have you been there when the event was launched in 2009?
No, I moved to Dubai in 2013. I worked on that event for the last year was my 10th year that I worked at the F1.
So a decade
yes.
in entertainment.
Yes.
And you must be a part of the entire operations.
In terms of entertainment, yes, we do everything from like all the logistical planning and operations as well.
And how do you enter into this?
Well, I got into events many years. It's been over 20 years that I got into events, and I started working for companies that did stage management, and from there my love for events grew. The excitement, like every time you're working at an event, it's a new situation. You're meeting new people. It's new experiences, new opportunities. And when I moved to Dubai and started working in artist booking, there was an opportunity to pitch for the F1. I knew it was too big. It wasn't anything I'd done before, but I always say that you don't say no to your opportunities. You always try and give it your best shot, and that's all that you can do. And we pitched for it. The tender was out. We pitched for it, and I was pleasantly surprised that we were being seriously considered, and then we were awarded it. And since then, I made sure that we worked harder than anybody else to make sure that we deliver a good event.
Is it something like that? You just walk. Now you have been doing it for so many years.
Yeah.
Now the event for 2025.
Yeah.
That means you just walk in and you do the entertainment, or how are you selected?
No, yeah. So there will be like a RFP, which is like a tender process that's put out to like maybe 20 different agencies.
So 20 people competing.
Oh yeah, of course.
And you are at the top. How do you explain that?
We just kind of understand the brief and understand what the client's looking for, and really think about what a guest would want to see and experience at the F1 and what's been done previously, what's different about what we're doing. We want to pitch this year, and we just go very very detailed in our creative approach and the planning for it, and we come up with unique concepts and we pitch it to the client. And if they're happy with us and they're happy with the pitch and they're happy with the way that we've kind of outlined how we approach the event, then it's been awarded.
The number of spectators is on the rise, I was told, every year.
Yeah.
And the number of ladies who are witnessing the event is also on the rise.
Absolutely.
And they say that even in Saudi Arabia, the number is growing. How do you explain that?
I think F1 is, it's not just a sport for everyone, it's also like an emotion watching the race. And I think I myself, I don't know too much about the game, about the sport, to be honest. I watch the races. I get to stand right next to the drivers when they come in for their autograph sessions. I don't know too much about the race, but I hear from my friends and from my family about how exciting it is when it's Lewis Hamilton moving his teams and things like that. I think women, it's not just women, it's more accessible now. Everything's on the internet. You watch daily updates, you know what's going on in their lives. Before it was just you watch on a TV channel and you know what's happening when the next race happens. But now you get to see daily updates as well of each of the drivers and everybody involved. So there's a lot more involvement in the drivers' lives as well.
It's a 3 or 4 day event. Do you have a role in all these days, or it is just one finale?
No, it's every single day. So the first day where they do the pit lane walk, we're involved from that day, which is usually the Thursday, and then you have Friday, Saturday, Sunday of races. We're involved in all 4 days.
Yeah. So you have to prepare and plan for all the 4 days or 3 days. Whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's also the pre-event. Sometimes we're also involved in the pre-event launches. And then sometimes in the
pre-event all over the world, even if you take Premier League and the other big football matches,
yeah.
Even the pre-events are fully attended by people, and people pay to get into that. It doesn't happen in Goa, absolutely nil. In India, not so much. Do you mean to say there are people watching for all the 3 days?
Oh yeah, absolutely. People come to watch all 3 days. And also because the way they plan it is they have like fan engagement and driver engagement at the stages on some of the days. So people want to be involved in that as well and get to see the drivers up front and not just watch them, on the track.
Yeah. And what made you to get into the field that you are now surpassing?
I attended a workshop for female DJs in Goa.
In Goa?
Yeah. I think
more or less in, when was it? If you remember.
24, 25 years ago maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was in the year 2000 if I'm not mistaken. And my friends were going along, so I just decided to go and check it out, and I really enjoyed it. I think my passion for it grew, and I started training under DJ Troy, who's, he's the guru in India. He kind of, in Goa especially, and he kind of started this whole movement with DJs. And I was lucky to be trained by the best. He gave me great opportunities to showcase my talent. And then when I moved to Mumbai, and I also started playing, but I was also working in, I did a diploma in event management, and I started working backstage, stage management for a company called On Cue. And that's where my actual love for working with events and working with large crews and large scale events really grew. And yeah, I continued doing that. I continued working in events when I moved to Paris. I was working for an artist booking agency.
How did you manage to go to Paris?
I had a friend who lived there, and I wanted a change, to move away from India and see what else is out there in the world. So my friend lived there, and while I went to visit her, and I started applying for jobs just to see if there was anything interesting.
And then you did the same thing in Paris?
So I booked American DJs on tours in Europe. So same artist booking, and then I moved to the UK and was also doing the same thing where I was booking international DJs, but for a few venues in India and also for a few private events around the world. And then my sister had moved to Dubai in the meantime, so I decided to go visit her and apply for jobs and, you know,
In
kind
Dubai.
of in Dubai
In
and
Dubai.
see what the market would be like. And I was fortunate to find something immediately.
When you started, how difficult was it?
It's challenging to understand how Dubai works. You know, it's
Dubai is super cosmopolitan.
it is, yeah, and it's very fast. It's you have to be on top of it. It's every single day there are opportunities. It's up to you whether you want to like go after it and really stick with it. But yeah, it's so many opportunities in Dubai. And so I worked with an artist booking agency for a year, and then with another company for 3 years. And then I decided to start my own agency in 2017.
So you are now the boss of your agency.
Yes, I am.
Yeah. How long did it take?
3 years after I was in Dubai, I started it.
3 years in Dubai.
Yeah.
And when you took over, how did you go about?
I was pretty much a one-man show in the beginning. You know, I used to have all these different email addresses for different departments because I didn't want to show my clients that it was just me. So I used to send invoices from one account and respond for the other one. But I had a lot of clients that stuck with me and stayed with me from my previous agency. So I had consistent work coming in. And yeah, it just took off from there. And about 2 years ago, I decided to change the way that the agency operates. Because what we do in entertainment, it's not just booking talent. We also conceptualize and program events. So we come up with concepts, and before we used to outsource the production of it. Now we do everything in-house. So, you know, I have a whole creative team. We do our own choreography. We have a massive studio where we do our own rehearsals and shoots. I have a huge costume department that we produce our own costumes in-house. Our clients can walk in and see anything. We have our own auditions for talent, and we do events not just in Dubai, but we also do in other cities in the GCC. I've done events in Spain and Seychelles,
Being based
in India,
in Dubai.
being based in Dubai.
Based in Dubai.
Yes.
You could fly over
Yeah.
and still do, and do to your best.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think event management is the in thing for all of us.
Yeah, it is. It's very exciting, especially being in the UAE. There's so, like, you know, you're exposed to a lot of big events. One of the other ones we did was the Expo 2020. Is probably one of the 5 agencies that provided daily entertainment. So it was 6 months of entertainment, massive event. You know, it is a bit overwhelming when you start off and, you know, you're like, is this something that, you know, we're really cut out to do? But you just give it everything and go for it. And yeah, as long as you're saying yes and keeping the door open, opportunities will come in.
Yeah. What has been something that you could share with our viewers about a difficult part that you have been able to overcome?
I think it's just, I wouldn't say instances, but I think one of the challenges about living, you know, and working in entertainment in the UAE is people see the same thing over and over again. So it's how do you stand out from like over 1,000 entertainment agencies that are in the UAE.
That means you have to be very innovative at every stage.
Absolutely.
And how do you do that?
It's so one of the big moves we did was to do everything in house, is to go full creative. So it's not just a talent agency anymore. We're storytellers. So we'll come up with, you know, the whole narrative for a concept that we're pitching, and then we deliver that. We think about the guest journey. We're putting out costumes that people haven't seen before. You know, we're curating music. We're putting together different musicians from different parts of the world.
But it is a very massive work that you have to undertake.
It is massive.
And how do you manage?
I have a great team. I honestly have a great team. I wouldn't be able to do any of this without them. They're really, it's not just me, but they're all visionaries in their own right. They're very creative. They're very inspiring. They all come from different backgrounds. We are a very multicultural team from different countries. So everyone comes with their own perspective and their own experience, and they're very supportive. They're always looking out for, what's going on in the market and how can we be better. So for that, I would say all credit definitely goes to my team.
How strong is your team, and what is the total number, more or less?
We have 14 full-time.
14 full-time?
Yeah.
That means you are providing employment,
Yes.
in other words, for 14 people, and that too in Dubai.
Yes.
That's to be applauded. I must say that, and you will be perhaps the only Goan to have reached at this level.
I'm sure there are lots of Goans, very proud to see other Goans as well thriving in the events industry, and I come across them in live entertainment and in creative live entertainment. I do come across some Goans, but more involved in like sound and lighting, and also leading massive agencies. In entertainment, I don't come across too many that have work in. I would love to meet if there are other Goans out there who are working in entertainment, in the planning side of entertainment in the UAE. I would absolutely love to collaborate with them.
Yeah, and for the first time when you joined in your field of entertainment for F1, how did you go about?
It was. I did doubt myself initially. When we won the contract, I was like, what did I get myself into? But, I was very lucky to have a very supportive client who kind of walked us through the process. I always ask a million questions. I always, I'm not afraid to say I don't know the answer to something. And yeah, I had a very supportive client who kind of handheld me through that first event, teaching me a lot. And, it's for me, I love absorbing.
I must say you are very humble.
Oh, no.
No, but then it pays. It
Yeah.
pays, as you have seen and you have said now.
Yeah.
Please go on. Yeah.
Yeah, so after I kind of did the first F1 and, learned a lot from it. You just prepare better next time. And the thing about working at the F1 as well is, you're not in control. As much as you plan, you're not in control on what happens on event days, because our goal is to keep people entertained as soon as the races stop and before the time it starts again. So sometimes the races go on longer, sometimes they end sooner. So because we manage entertainment at so many stages and so many fan zones, we keep moving musicians and talent from one stage to another, from one zone to another. So there's a whole logistical plan, there's a whole transport plan that goes with it. So you have to really play it by ear and see how it goes. So my job at the F1 is literally troubleshooting anything or changing up the schedule and the programming.
You have been always a learner at all times.
Of course, you never stop learning. Like, no matter what you do in life and what you achieve, you never stop learning.
Yeah, and then for the second, what are the changes that you had to take up?
I think it was more operationally, understanding how it works. There are things not in your control, like, security, and security sometimes blocks some of the roads and you can't get through, and even inside the circuit. So it's just understanding logistically how things work. Sometimes we have like this whole Emirati experience where you have like a falcon showcasing, and then you realize the noise is too loud for the falcon. So there are things like that you kind of cannot really be prepared for. But you learn, and every single year, like I think the last delivery of F1 we did was the smoothest one yet.
Are you now looking forward for the next one in December 2025?
Yeah, I mean, we'll pitch for it like every year. They put out a tender and, we give it our best. And that's what we're going to do this year as well. And hopefully we're awarded the contract for another year.
Yeah. And how have the people from Dubai, it's only the people from Dubai who come for the race to see all this, or
No.
people from all over the world?
Because
F1, it has fans spread all over the world.
No, it's absolutely all over the world. I don't want to get the statistics wrong, but I think about 65 or 70% are tourists that fly in to watch the race. I could be wrong, but I know it's a very large number of international tourists.
It is. And also you have in Saudi Arabia, and then Qatar also.
Yeah.
And do you have any contacts with these events there?
We haven't pitched for any of those. Right now we just pitched for UAE, but we are expanding the business into Saudi. So we will
But
definitely.
given an opportunity, you would.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
You feel very confident now.
Yeah, I mean, when you work on large scale events and you understand the structure of it, and you basically, it's like pieces of a puzzle. Like you have all the pieces, you just have to figure out how to fit them together.
And have you been witnessing any of this F1 all over the world, or some parts
Me?
of the world? Or, for example, they talk about Monaco, one of the best,
Yeah.
that's what they say. The entertainment there, the event management there,
Yeah.
and yours, how would you compare?
I think from what I've seen in terms of research, like they do it very differently. The brief is very different in different cities, and different circuits. Like Miami would be very different from what Singapore does to what the UAE does. So it's just about what the circuit, or it's not F1, but I think the circuit hosting it as well is trying to achieve from.
So it's not only the
entertainment.
racers that are involved in what you do.
No, no, it's not just the races. Like I said, it's the entertainment we have for the hospitality and paddock is very different. It's like a different audience. So we're catering to a totally different audience than we do for the fan zones. The fan zones are more fun and vibrant. The hospitalities is
So the
still.
fan zones in Dubai would be definitely different from, say, Saudi Arabia?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay.
The ultimate goal is to keep people entertained, but every circuit has their own theme and their concepts that they go with, and then we try and align the entertainment with that.
This F1 in Dubai, is it a very big event or just any other event like others?
No, the F1 in Abu Dhabi is definitely the biggest sporting event of the UAE for sure.
And how do you look forward now for this year?
We already start planning before the tender comes out. We start planning our pitch
Yeah.
and what we're going to put in. So we're always looking for new talent across. We do a lot of research. It's a lot of work that goes into putting together that one pitch document for them, is because a lot of research goes into it. We're looking into what's trending. We're looking into what we can introduce. We're looking into how we can incorporate locally UAE based talent. And that's a good thing about Abu Dhabi as well. They want to showcase a lot of UAE based talent in their programming.
Is there a good talent in racing in Dubai among the locals, or they depend on one event, F1, and the sport is over?
No, from what I know, the Yas Marina circuit as well that hosts the F1. They have different sporting events throughout the year, definitely, and I think Abu Dhabi in general introduces a lot of race related. Like we also did A2RL, which is the autonomous driving race. So we also did the entertainment for that. We've been involved in a lot of sporting events as well.
But
so.
As of today, all sports events have to have an event taking place.
Oh yeah, of course. I think every event in Dubai definitely needs, whether it's sporting or whether it's corporate or whatever it is, everybody wants entertainment.
Yeah,
but it's, what we do is how can we showcase, because sometimes you have the same people attending the same events, so how can we showcase what they've never seen before.
And are you involved in any other sport like, say, football? There must be big matches coming up there also.
Yeah, we've done a lot of football games, as well. But in terms of corporate events, in terms of awards, in terms of launches, so we've done, like, I think across sports we've done NBA, we've done UFC. So we've been involved in a lot of sporting events in terms of entertainment.
As a youngster, did you see doing all this?
No. No, to be honest, I never really planned what was going to happen in 3 years or 5 years. I literally, what I was doing in the moment is I was making sure I was giving it 100%.
Yeah, and in India there is unfortunately no F1. They tried once, and then due to a lot of difficulties, they said it is not to be done anymore.
Yeah.
Though there was a track at that time. Do you wish that India does F1?
Oh, absolutely. And I would love to be involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any message that you would like to pass on to the DJs or people in the event circuit?
Well, I think just don't be afraid of challenges and just say yes to opportunities. Like sometimes, even though it seems overwhelming, I'll just say, yes, I'm going to do it, and then I figure out how to do it. So, don't be afraid of opportunities, and you kind of stagnate when you don't take up bigger challenges. So I'd say just go for it.
Yeah. And are you sure that you'll be there this time in 2025, more or
I
less?
don't know.
Of course, it's a competition.
Yeah.
But having this much of golden experience,
Yeah.
I don't think so they will lose you.
We'll give it our best as always.
Yeah. We wish you all the best,
Thank you so much.
Zinaida. And we are proud that Agon is part of the big F1 event. May you prosper always.
Thank you so much. Such a pleasure.